Let's talk about the recruiting process. When did that start for each of them? Like when did college coaches really? And I imagine it probably was while during playing AAU.
Yeah, it was during AAU.
Yeah.
So for Dre, it was your sophomore year, and it started for him in sophomore year. Got a lot of
going into my sophomore after.
It was after your sophomore year, after going into your junior year. So he was getting a lot of interest, and then a lot of mid-majors started offering him.
I would say end of the sophomore year because he was.
Yeah, going into my junior year. It was that summer.
Yeah, that's true.
So he started going visiting different schools and stuff, and actually we thought SIUC was
Carbondale.
Yeah. So, and then till he seen Nebraska. But no, I mean we've had a lot of good experiences as far as going. And then Tae, younger brother, he got recruited earlier just because of Dre's how much he was being recruited. So
they just start coming around and they start
they seen him.
attention.
Yeah. They seen how gifted and talented he was. But yeah, Dre brought a lot of attention to him, so he started getting recruited a little bit earlier than Dre did. But yeah, I mean, it was fun. But that's when it started.
When the recruiters start coming around, what were the things you were looking for? And Lundy, you can chime in on this too. What are the things that you were looking out for and were really important to you in their recruitment?
I should let her start, but let me just let her start.
Okay.
I think some things that are really important are developing. Like, can this coach develop my kid? Does this coach care about my kid beyond basketball? And developing.
So I'll say mine. I think early on when you talk about when we first started going to different schools when Dre was a sophomore, my thought process now is totally different than it was then.
Really? How so?
Because then, being new to the game, really the things that you look for, is it a right fit? Does this school have what my kid wants to major in? Mm-hmm. Is the school a place where he can thrive, right? Mm-hmm. Well, now, after Dre being in school and going through that and kind of seeing it from the collegiate level, now it's like, I want more. I want someone that, like she stated, that cares. I want a coach that's going to push and be that driving force in their life, not only on the court but off the court, but at the same time, love on them.
Yep.
So now it's like, okay, the things that we want now for them has really evolved over the course of just watching Dre in there, because from year to year, progress has to happen.
Yeah.
And growth, not just on the court, but within himself. And every year he should be, feeding from the year before.
Yeah.
Spiritually, emotionally, there should never be a drop off, as far as his growth, not just, being on the court.
Right.
And luckily, we've had great experience in the classroom at the collegiate level, and I'm sure that he's going to continue it on at Seton Hall. And I'm sure Tae, he's gonna make sure Tae's good anyway. He's both of them are really smart kids, but yeah, it changed. Would you say so? Would you agree?
And then relate. That was the other one. They needed to be with a coach that they could relate to.
They can relate to.
Yeah, I know they'll have his back. They'll drive through a brick wall for him. If all those things.
Dre, what do you academically? What do you want to do away from basketball? What are you majoring in? What are you thinking about doing? And when your basketball career is done, when you say you go play in the NBA and you retire, what do you want to do?
There's a lot of things I want to do, but I say like my main focus as of right now would be I'm studying sports administration.
Okay.
That might change to sports management at Seton Hall, but pretty much the same thing. Just going into sports agency, something in that field. I did not an internship, but I went on a field trip to a law firm.
Okay.
And they kind of just broke down how they what they do on a day-to-day basis, and it kind of opened my eyes, like, this is something I would do. So I was interested in going to law school, doing something like that, but definitely sports agency as of right now.
I like that. I've tried to push some of my receivers over the years, not push them to it, but open their eyes as you want to stay involved with sports and you want to use your degree, especially when you're well-spoken. So with what you're accomplishing academically, I can definitely see that as an option. Tae, what about you? What do you think you want to? And you're going into it, so you might say, look, let me just get there and let me put my suitcase down and kick my shoes off before you start asking me what I want to do. But do you have an idea what you want to do as far as a major is concerned?
I want to get into accounting and entrepreneurship. I want to get then once I get done with all that, I want to get into real estate and get in the business world, kind of do my own thing, stuff that can
sustain you for a long time.
Right.
Like that.
Build my money up.
Well, now that you guys are at Seton Hall, let's talk about that elephant in the room. Dre, why'd you leave Louisville?
Obviously, there was a lot of changes that went on the previous year. One of the biggest ones being the culture change. I love Coach KP to death. I think he's a great guy. I respect him. He's very respectable. You talk to him, sit down, talk to him. Like, he blew my mind, honestly. He's a great coach, a great person. That was one of the biggest things that made it hard for me to leave, honestly. But he kind of pushed me to, I told him that I wanted to at least, go out and explore, see what's best for me. He gave me that opportunity, and just the way things unfolded, Seton Hall, I feel as though was the best option for me overall.
What was it about Seton Hall?
I'll say the biggest thing was, just the coaching staff, Coach Shaw, Coach Shaheen, just his passion behind the game, that chip on the shoulder he carries with him, just the drive behind the game. I feel as though that's something I share with him, something that, a lot of coaches probably can't relate to, but I feel as that that's something that me and him can relate. And
you got that connection.
Right, and that's somebody I want to play for. At the end of the day, it's like, you told me you had the same drive, the same passion as me. I'm going to push you as if you really do. And that's something I want from the coach and that I need from the coach, honestly. Also on the court, it's energy. A lot of the game you play off of energy. And to play for a coach that has that same energy and same passion, same drive, the same chip on the shoulder, it all makes it easy, be comfortable with who I am as a player.
Man, you know what you want, and you know why you want it. I respect that. Was it pressure on you when the decision was being made, or the talk of your brother leaving Louisville, and you had already committed to Louisville? Was that an automatic, like, okay, my brother's not gonna be there for the same reason he's leaving? Did you say, well, I'm not going there, or how did that process work for you?
So I had decommitted before he left. With me, it was just like, I need to know what I'm getting myself into. So that's kind of the reason why I backed out.
So you were operating independent, just doing what you think is best for Tae.
Right.
Okay.
And then with him being there 2 years already, for me, it was, okay, he's already in the system. Like, I'll be coming in. I don't even, you know what I mean? So for me, it was just like, well, let me make sure I know what I get myself into. So then I wanted to reopen my recruitment while letting them still recruit me, so that I know exactly what I'm getting into when I commit again. And so that's just where I was at with it. When the coaching change happened and everything happened.
Now I'm going to ask you two in a second about that process, but what would you, and I'm going to ask you, what would you tell people, because there are a lot of kids out there, athletes, high school athletes, collegiate athletes, that commit to a school and things change, situations change, staffs change, philosophies change. It's a gazillion things out there why a kid is like, this is not the best place for me at this time. I need to go someplace else. What piece of advice would you give somebody that may find themselves in your shoes, what piece of advice would you give them?
I think everybody's situation is different. I think it all just depends on your situation. You know, like I said, for me, it was somebody I feel like I needed to relate to. I needed that same energy, that same vibe for me. I say the biggest thing is go where you not only want it but need it. You know, a lot of the problems can be fixed with just, are you needed here? Are you wanted here? Those two things are huge because, along with that comes the relationships, coach really caring about you, checking up on you, make sure your mental's all right, making sure on the court he's going to hold you accountable for your mistakes, going to push you to, the best of your ability. So I think with those two aspects, everything else falls in line with that.
With me, being an incoming freshman, advice I give people that was in my position is like just analyze the situation. Like a lot of people gonna try to tell you what to do and try to tell you their opinion on what you want to do, but it's really like it's your decision. It's what you want to do, how you feel about the situation. So like, this is what you're gonna have for the rest of your life. This next decision. So make it about you. Like make it for yourself, and then you can take advice, but at the end of the day, it's on you. So follow your heart and your gut where you want to be at.
Granddaddy, boy. you grown up, man. Mama.
This time around, it was different. I'll say that. I think we were kind of prepared to see them off at different schools. I mean, we were like, what's good for one may not be good for the other. I think one of the coolest things going through this process is that they realized that they wanted to play together. And before, I don't know if they knew. I think they're kind of like, hey, it just may not work out, and that's okay. Like you said, half of the family will go here, half will go here. But it was a neat process that they came to that decision. They were never pressured. They both know we'd support them regardless. I seen differences in my kids and how they responded to Coach Shaw. I, as a mom, I guess, knew that he was the coach for them. I can appreciate the coaching staff. They were persistent. I feel like this is a great opportunity for both of them for different reasons. Mm-hmm. And I'm just proud of them. I think that they made a good decision. It was their decision, and we supported 100%. I think one of the things, though, I will say, as a kid going through this process, they have to realize when it's adversity versus environments they cannot change, right? And there's a difference. Is your spirit good there? And if it's not, then those are your answers. But you really, you really got to pray on that. That's not something that just hits you. And so it wasn't an easy decision, but I think that they made the right decision.
We know we made the right decision.
Yeah. So from my standpoint is, I just try to, love on them, number one. Give them as much advice, play devil's advocate a little bit, just try to make them understand what's their why and why they're choosing their why. Mm-hmm. And I think that was pretty much the biggest thing for me. Like I play devil's advocate a lot. It's like, giving them scenarios, giving them situations, make sure they thought about this. So why is this? Why do you feel that way? And if they can answer it, then they know. But in this situation, like they both stated and my wife stated, I mean, it was nothing that you can tell them differently about it. So it was, let's do it. We put the phone down. We made a decision before we went. That's how sure they were. That's how sure they were.
That's big.
And so, that's huge. And given everything that I know about coaches, colleges, recruiting, and all of that, I was in awe with their decision, and why they wanted to do what they wanted to do. So, and then when we got there, it was everything that they thought it would be. So we just, we were blessed.
You know what? When I tell people that I'm, they're like, who's your next guest? And some people always have questions. Like, well, ask him this, or I want to know that. What people don't know is, so these are some of the best basketball players in the country. Tae on the high school level, he's been doing this thing. You started at Louisville as a freshman, didn't you?
Right.
That's a storied basketball franchise, organization. And when I started this interview off, and we were talking about, your your fiber and fabric as a family and the love and how deep it goes, you guys passed up on some opportunities with NILs. You go to some other schools and you could have gotten paid.
Sure.
And that'll take care of itself. That'll come.
For sure.
That'll come because y'all hearts and your heads are in the right place. God's leading you, and you're allowing God to lead you. You're sticking together as a family. You're doing what's best for you, and y'all doing what's best for your boys. And you got your whole family behind you, and all that stuff is going. And I just wanted to point that out because in today's sports world, in collegiate basketball, it's so many people that they think that has to be a part of why you leave. If that's for you, if that situation is for you, then go. That's fine. That's not a knock.
Right.
But just how y'all are, it's been really consistent with who y'all are as people, and I think it's awesome. The NIL is gonna come the way they're supposed to shake out. Y'all get a chance to play together and compete at a high level. The family will be there to support you, and I'll be on TV with my little Seton Hall pom-pom. Go boys! and every now and then get a chance to come down to a game. So I just want to thank y'all for taking the time I know y'all got a busy schedule. You guys just got done working out and training. You got work, and y'all came in and opened up your home and let DTK Sports come in and sit down and have a few moments with you. And I guarantee you're gonna touch some people when they see this interview. You don't even know how much you affect people, but your name rings out so much. Oh, Dre Davis, man, Lundy, that's just an unbelievable family. So I'm wishing y'all all the success, all the love. I love y'all. Y'all family to me, like literally, your family to me. So I'm excited to see what the next chapter is at Seton Hall. Before I get out of here, you want to give me a prediction on the record?
How many games they played? Maybe 20?
30.
More than 20.
3?
It's about 30, about 33, 30. It depends on how far you go, but
Undefeated.
That's what we want.
I know that's right.
That's what we had.
I love it.
I know that's right.
I love it. Undefeated. Hey, let's get it. Let's get it. And the other thing is, Dre, you spent 2 years at Louisville, and you didn't make the tournament either year. So I know that's on your bucket list.
For sure. So I'm
You know,
ready for that.
and
Need that.
I was, man, I'm always rooting for you, but I was like, man, come on, man, come on. Let my baby boy get in there and just taste what it's like to compete in the dance. So I think y'all are going to be more than on the track. You're more than on the track to making sure you check that off your list. And I can't wait to see what it's going to look like and watch y'all travel your journey. And I'll be right there rooting for you. So I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And
I just want
love
you to
you
know
back
that was
too,
the
man.
first thing he said to Coach.
what?
He said, Coach, I sat and watched the NCAA tournament my first year. I sat and watched it my second year. I can't do no more. I can't watch anymore. I need to be out there.
You'll be in it.
So,
You'll be in it. I appreciate y'all.
thank you.
Appreciate it too.
Hey, thanks for joining DTK Sports Behind the Game. I am the Coach Dino, and y'all might want to watch this twice. See y'all next time.